Hey guys, Aisha here. I know I don't usually do any voiceovers or commentary in my videos, but a lot of my friends recently power passed their blade. They're kind of wondering how the rotation on Surge goes. So I'm just going to make a quick video, nice and dirty rough tutorial of how the rotation goes, any like maybe some tidbits that the other guides might not tell you, or just like some variants on the 18 stack rotation that I use, and we can take it from there. So let's get started. Alright, so before we even do the rotation, let's just talk a little bit about meter building. There's a couple of decent ways to build your meter, but the most obvious fact is you're just going to be making sure you use your maelstrom. And under your maelstrom, you just make sure you fit your void strike and your ultimate, that gives you all your meter. So that way is nice and easy. Now, the other way is that let's say you don't have your ultimate, or you missed it, whatever may, maybe like the boss went through a transition phase or something. If you cycle your main damage skills with Earth Cleaver, Void Strike, and Soul Absorber, Blitz Rush, you should get most of your meter back. If not all of it, depending on your tripod levels. There. And now, when you activate your Death Trance, most of your cooldowns will be around like 5 to 6 seconds. So you're pretty much ready to go with your regular rotation anyways. A couple other things. You can substitute Dark Axle for any of these skills. Let's say you don't want to use your Earth Cleaver because you're holding it for a counter. Then that works just fine too. Just make sure that you have your Void Strike under your effect of your Maelstrom. Yeah, you can start your rotation from there. Okay, we built our meter, now how do we use it? I personally use a new 17-18 stack rotation on Surge. The 14 stack doesn't work anymore since I think May patch, and the 20 stack is still possible too, but I didn't really enjoy the playstyle of full stacking. So, okay, we'll go through the base rotation, and we can add some variants onto it just in case. Like, let's say, for example, you're in Vicus and the boss moves around a lot more, then you can add some variants onto it to make sure you have a safer 20 stack. Okay, so we'll go through it. The rotation starts with Spin Cutter for the debuff, and you'll be fitting in most of your charge skills, or, your Soul Absorber and your Blitz Rush under Windcut, because while you're charging your Soul Absorber, and even for Blitz Rush, because not everyone runs this Dark Charge tripod, they run Charge Enhancement too, but you're just trying to make sure that you're always building a stack while the chargings are going on. So that's why you usually see with Windcut, right? Because you're obviously not charging, you're not building stacks with Soul Absorber. So what you rather do is you're going to use Wind Cutting and then use Soul Absorber after, because you always make sure that you have the stack building while you're charging. Okay, so we'll go through the base rotation. It is Spin Cut, Wind Cut, Earth Cleaver, Soul Absorber, Blitz Rush, and that'll give you your first 10 stacks. So that's like the first half of the rotation. And you finish it again by going into the same rotation, but you'll be going, instead of your blue skills, your damage skills, you'll be going into Maelstrom instead, and you'll just be waiting for the stacks to use your Surge. Okay, you see around 17, 18, and then now you top off with Void Strike, and now your meter's full again. So you could think of the rotation in two halves. It's Spin Cut, Wind Cut into your damage skills, and then Spin Cut, Wind Cut into Maelstrom Surge, and then you connect the rotations with Void Strike. So I'll just go through the rotations twice. Okay, so it's Spin Cut, Wind Cut, Earth Cleaver, Soul Absorber, Blitz Rush. Now you see Spin Cutter come back up. You go through rotation again, and then while this thing is ticking up, Surge, fill your bar up, and then now when you have enough specialization, all your cooldowns are back up, and then you can go through rotation again. There you go. And the rotation kind of repeats itself. I'd say maybe it's like I'd say it's about 12-second rotation, pretty much. So that's just going to be your core rotation, and you repeat it. So if the fight's like a minute long, then you're essentially just going through your rotation 5 times, and there's nothing too much of a variant on that. Okay, one final note on the rotation. It is somewhat reminiscent of the old 14 stack rotation. where you Windcut before you Death Trance, because your active Windcut carries the damage ticks over into your stack building while getting the benefit of the cooldown reduction from popping Death Trance. So normally Windcut with Thick Sword Energy gives you 4 stacks, but let's say you use it before you Death Trance, it already gives you 3 stacks, and if you see again, your Windcut's already up. So it's pretty much a total of 7 stacks before you even start your rotation. So it definitely helps a lot, because let's say, for example, the boss is moving, right? You Windcut the wrong spot or something. If you Windcut before your rotation, you have another Windcut ready. And you can go to your rotation from there, just because it's on such a low cooldown. And one other thing would be Void Strike. If you feel like you're overstacking, whether it's like a downtime or something, or you are doing the pre-Windcut and you end up with extra stacks, you know you're going to be going into 20 stacks before you Surge, you can always Void Strike before you Surge as well. So let's say, for example, here you do a Windcut starting, you have 3 stacks, so you start your rotation with 3 stacks, which means that when you Maelstrom, you're probably going to be around 15 stacks. So here, you can just Void Strike for the full damage of Void Strike while you're under your buff for Surge, and you get your meter back. Because remember, Surge, the stacking, you get a % of attack power for your Surge stacks. So all of your skills that you use later inside your Surge, if you see the meter rising up there, your number rising up there, you can fit your Void Strike all the way at the end. So it just means that you get a high damage Void Strike before you Surge while you're waiting for 20 stacks. And I think that really does it for about all the variants. I know that you can use Dark Axle. You really need like 1 stack. Otherwise, it's pretty much going to be this set rotation for 18 stacker. And if you do opt not to use your ulti early, you can ulti here if you want, just to get the full damage of your ulti with a higher attack power. But otherwise, that really about does it. Just a quick and dirty rotation video of how playing around with your Surge Blade. The big thing is just making sure that you keep your Windcut on cooldown, your meter builders like your Void Strike and your ulti under Maelstrom, and always make sure that you go into 3 orbs by refilling with your Void Strike, and don't be afraid to Surge under 20 stacks. If you're around 17 to 18, you let that thing rip. Use your Void Strike to top back up, and you're good to go again. So yeah, that's pretty much it for how I do my rotation for my blade. And if you have any questions, hit me up. Subscribe, leave a message, whatever. If you want to see more content like this instead of just gameplay videos, I can make it for the other classes I play too. And yeah, you guys have a good one.